everyone, I'm Anne and welcome to Chronically Beautiful, where we're trying to live our best life even though we probably don't feel like it. And today we are in a new location, my kitchen. I thought that I would share with you some of my meal prep ideas. I've got some healthy habits videos coming out that have to do with healthy eating and just being successful in general. And one of the ways that I'm able to eat healthier and get out of the house on time and just kind of handle all that business is meal prep. One of the things I'm working on in the new year is getting back on Weight Watchers, which is something that I have been on in the past. I am going to move forward trying the purple plan. So a lot of what I'm prepping today is going to be Weight Watchers, and then I'm going to prep some stuff for my husband as well, which is definitely not Weight Watchers. Looking at breakfast, lunch, some dinner stuff, some snacks, just kind of a big mismatch of everything. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep watching. But first, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified of all my future uploads, don't forget to ring the bell. And finally, I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It will really help YouTube to notice my channel. All right, you guys, let's dive right in.
All right, let's start by getting hydrated. The most important thing we will do today. Here are all the ingredients for a full day of meal planning. I'm going to do all kinds of different fun stuff with all of these goodies. Every single Sunday, I hard boil about a dozen eggs. I eat them every day, as does my son, and I absolutely love them. A little tip for the Instant Pot is buying one of these 1 1/4 inch elbows of PVC. That way the steam doesn't shoot up underneath your cabinets. I use the 5-5-5 method with my Instant Pot, so I cook it for 5 minutes, slow release for 5 minutes, and then soak it in an ice bath for 5 minutes, and the eggs are always perfect. Here I am making my baked oatmeal. This is a treat that I really, really love for breakfast. On Blue Plan, it is 2 points. I'm on Purple now, and it is 0 points on Purple. And I always use my old bananas that were left from the week. I am going to do a full recipe video for this, but it is basically a 1/4 cup of oats and an egg to every banana that you are putting in. And I always do 4 of each. And that makes 5 servings. I do a splash of vanilla or lemon extract. I'm using lemon today. Gives it just a really nice, fresh flavor, especially along with the fresh blueberries that I'll also be putting in. I always also throw in a sprinkle of cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice or apple pie spice or just whatever I have on hand and I'm in the mood for. I'm just going to pop that guy under my KitchenAid mixer. Be sure to lock down if you're using a mixer because things will fly everywhere because of the bananas. And that's going to be at 350. You have to really, really generously coat your containers for this recipe, otherwise they will absolutely stick. These are some little Pyrex containers and some of them are from the Dollar Tree. They're really great because they come with lids. They're just perfect for this. And I just the batter evenly between the 5 dishes. And again, that works out to be 2 points on blue or 0 for green or for purple. I am not sure about green. And then I put them in my oven for about 40 minutes. Something else I do almost every single Sunday, I buy all kinds of fresh fruit. Berries have been on sale lately and really delicious here in Michigan. So I have been just buying a ton of blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. I also usually always buy grapes. Strawberry season hasn't quite started yet, so it'll be a little while before those are tasting good. But I just go through, I use my salad spinner or a colander, and I soak the fruit, and then I kind of wash it. And then I am just using my 1 cup scooper to portion that into bowls for us to take to go for our lunches. I also like to wash and cut and prep all of my vegetables and sometimes even cook all my vegetables for the week if I'm doing any kind of a dish that involves vegetables. Mushrooms are one of my favorite vegetables to cook. I don't care for them raw, but I do like to cook them in a good stir fry. Something else I often always have on hand are zucchini. I am gluten-free. It is something that I have had to deal with because of my autoimmune disease. I have been gluten-free for almost 10 years. Gluten makes me very sick, so I like to use different alternatives instead of pasta, and zucchini is one of the things I really love to have. So I'm going to chop up 2 of these to use for a dish that I'm making, and then I'm going to make zoodles out of the 3rd one. It's my spiralizer. This is a spiralizer that I got at Aldi for about 12 bucks a couple of years ago. I accidentally melted the suction cups in the dishwasher, so if you have this, don't put it in the dishwasher. So I have to kind of hold it down. It's really difficult to use. I have recently purchased an electric spiralizer from Aldi that I'm going to do a video on when I get around to it. But having one of these on hand is really, really nice. I'm just laying down some paper towels so that the zoodles can dry out a little bit. They cook much better and don't get as mushy if they're nice and dry. So the water will just kind of come out of those. If you salt them slightly too, they'll dry up faster. More veggies. Again, I'm soaking and scrubbing. English cucumbers are my favorite wintertime cucumbers. They seem to be the best quality at this time of year, and they also tend to not get mushy as fast. A lot of people don't like cucumber skins. I think they're good, and it's where all the nutrients are, so I always keep them on. Also chopping up some green bell peppers to cook up this week. I'm making a dish that we call the skilletini, which is from a restaurant around here that we used to eat at called Johnny Carino's. I don't know if you have that where you live, but it's peppers and onions and chicken, and then whatever vegetables I have on hand. I always put zucchini and mushroom in it too, just whatever I've got, whatever I'm in the mood for. But I just cut it up into big chunks, and then we just saute the whole thing together, sometimes with chicken. This week is going to be with some chicken sausage. It is delicious, and then I use all kinds of different seasonings. Sometimes I make it more spicy, and we serve it over pasta or zoodles for me. And I'll also probably eat some of these peppers raw as well, because 0 points. We are not big onion fans, but I do like to cook with them. It's not something that we would like sit and, put raw onions on our hamburger or anything like that, but I do love the flavor that they bring, and I don't mind them cooked, honestly, especially when I'm doing some kind of stir fry or something like that. But I always cook them or cut them into very large pieces so that they're easy to pick out for the people that don't like the onions. And you see, I only cut up 1. This is my favorite Never Any sausage from Aldi. This is the mild Italian, and this isn't my favorite flavor. My favorite flavor is the feta and spinach, but it is my favorite sausage they sell there. It's my favorite sausage anywhere, honestly, right now. It's only 4 points per link for this one, and then the other flavors I think are only 3 points per link. That's on purple. But they're just delicious, and they're made with chicken, and they also are free of gluten and preservatives and nitrates. It's awesome. Right, this is the carcass from a rotisserie chicken that we had a couple of nights ago, and I am just making some chicken bone broth from it. I used to do this on the stovetop and it would take all day, but since I got the Instant Pot, it's just perfect. I'm throwing in some salt, pepper, thyme, a bay leaf, some rosemary, and then this awesome seasoning, the Badia Complete seasoning, and just whatever you're in the mood for. Sometimes I mix it up, and then you just put that in for 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes you have perfect bone broth, like you have been simmering it all day long on the stove. This is some leftover turkey soup that I know we're not going to get through, but it is so good I cannot throw it away. So I'm just portioning it into some small bowls I will throw into the freezer and then take to lunch with me and just pull them out that day and eat them. It's not something I would pull out and sit in the fridge again. When you do that with leftovers, that can be tricky. So all of our leftovers, I usually always package up for my lunches, and it's just nice to have a nice warm lunch. All right, I'm gonna make some dip for my veggies. I'm using some non-fat plain Greek yogurt, which if you are Weight Watchers, you know is like the thing that you have. And I'm mixing in some of the Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. That is 0 points. I think on all plans, don't quote me on that. I know it's 0 points on purple. It is also gluten-free, so it is, you know, something I really enjoy. If you are using a packet, you would use a packet to like a sour cream sized, I think it's 16-ounce size tub of this, which does work out to be 2 tablespoons. All right, now I'm jumping over to tuna, which is going to be a big part of our main lunch snacks for this week. This little strainer is the best thing ever. It fits right inside of a regular can of tuna, and then it fits right outside of any other regular can, so you can drain your vegetables right from the can. It's one of those things that you usually find like randomly hanging in a grocery aisle. And this is chunk light tuna. I'm making this for my husband, so I'm just using some mayonnaise and I'm just eyeballing it. It's probably a little less than a quarter cup for 3 cans of tuna. I'm just gonna stir that up. That's all he likes in his, is just a little mayo. And I will put that into some little lunch prep containers with crackers. And that is his little tuna snack. For me, this week, I'm making this Northern Catch chunk light tuna, which is lemon pepper flavored from Aldi. And I love this. It is such good flavor. And instead of mayo, for me, I'm using just a little bit of Greek yogurt and a little splash of relish. Just going to stir that up, and it will go into little meal prep containers for me with some crackers, and it'll be delicious. Here are some sandwiches for my husband. I like to make them all at once. Boom, boom, boom. I lay them out. I put everything on it. I close them all up. That way I'm only having to get all the meat out once, all the cheese out once, etc. And then I pop them into these little lunch prep containers. So he's got some tuna snacks, some sandwiches. We were mixing it up. Sometimes I make his lunch, sometimes he makes his lunch. It's just kind of whatever I have time for. And then I'm just making him some little trail mix with almonds, craisins, and chocolate chips. All things that I miss so much being on Weight Watchers. I know I can eat whatever I want, but who's wasting points on craisins? I did recently discover some super delicious low point chocolate chips though, so I'll be talking about those at some point in one of these videos. And then I also made myself these little Lunchables with the Good Thins corn crackers, a wedge of Laughing Cow cheese, and about an ounce of turkey. So those ended up being 4 or 5 points. And then these are one of my favorite on the way home snacks. They're smart fries. You can have like 50 of them for 3 or 4 points. And then this is my dessert that I'm making. I call it Nice Cream. It is just frozen bananas and unsweetened cocoa powder. That's it. And you just throw them in your food processor. I'm using the Ninja with the dough bowl thing. And boom, just turn it onto the dough setting. Now, if yours is too crumbly and dry, like this particular one is, that won't happen if you let your bananas thaw out a little first, but I'm too impatient. So I just add a splash of almond milk to add a little bit of moisture. Not too much, because then it will be too hard when it's frozen. And some people might consider this blended fruit and count it as points. I don't, and when you look up banana ice cream in the app for Weight Watchers, it also comes up as 0 points. So I don't count it as any points. I also don't eat a giant serving of it either. I usually do about a half a cup serving. And it's my after dinner snack. It's so good. You could also throw frozen berries in with your bananas instead of the chocolate powder, and then it's like a sorbet. Oh my goodness, it is so delicious. And then instead of making it each night, I just pre-portion it out into these little containers and just keep them in my freezer ready to go. That way, if I'm craving something sweet, I have these and I'm not getting myself into trouble. Because these are only 0 points, I do like to pair them with the Crunchmaster brownie batter cracker thins that are only 2 points for like 20 of them, and that is so good. You can dip them in or crunch them up and put them on top. It's so delicious. This is not a snack for you though if you don't like bananas. Is it ice cream? No, but it's close. All right, guys, here's everything we've made today. All of Alex's meal preps, all of our dinner stuff, and all of my meal preps and snacks. We've got lunch, we've got breakfast, we've got snacks, we've got some stuff for dinners. We have had a big day.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for going on this adventure with me. I hope that some stuff looked delicious. If you'd like to see more in-depth recipe videos, let me know in the comments down below. All right, keep coming back. Take care of you. And if you want to be notified, what the heck is wrong with me?